What is going on, everyone? Happy Friday. Happy early 4th of July. Happy long weekend. Man, can you believe that it is July 2nd already? What's going on, everybody? Nice to see you. Hey, Rogerio, thank you. Nice to see you too. I feel like I just was talking to you. It's nice to see everybody here. We are back again. For those that are new, let me introduce myself real quickly. My name is Brad. I'm the host of Technically Options here at Benzinga. I have been lucky enough to work with Benzinga for like 5 months now, I think. It's been one of the biggest honors I've ever had, and I don't say that because they're forcing me to say that. I genuinely mean that. But yeah, we gather every Friday night at 5 p.m. Eastern. Technically options, because we have a little bit of technical analysis and a lot of options trading. I'm a full-time options trader. That's what I do. I made the transition to options full-time probably 8 months ago. I've been trading full-time for longer than that, but it was always commons, and I've gone through different strategies and patterns and stuff like that. I've kind of come around to my style over these last couple of months, but I decided that I was going to stick with options. Right, that's the best thing to trade. No, they just make sense to me. The show is about options trading. We kind of cover a lot of different topics. We're very informal, very interactive. So please, if you have a question, please feel free to leave it in the chat. I will try my best to follow up. If you have a question, we always have some time at the end of the show where you're able to ask questions, and we just kind of chat. I'll try to keep up with the comments the best that I can. So Moises says, hello, I took you up on the offer from Iris. Oh yeah, wonderful. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. I'm also a member of social media platforms called Iris Finance. It's like basically a social media specifically for investors and stock trading. It's a fantastic platform. The team there is really good. I actually connected with them because they were on Benzinga one day, and that's how I got their contact information. That's how I got on the platform. And so it's pretty cool. Check it out. Iris Finance, search on your app store or on Google Play. Let everybody know that Brad sent you, and it's a great little community. So I always try to let everybody know about the show over there. So I'm most active on Twitter and my Discord channel. If you are interested in joining, I don't sell a course, I don't sell a Discord, I don't sell a private room, nothing like that. I don't do anything like that. But I am a part of a Discord channel, ITM Trading. We're completely free. We're about 1,000 members. We're active on a daily basis. We're very big on education. We don't do alert services, so don't expect to come into the channel and just have people tell you what to buy and sell. We are here to make you a better trader. If that's not something that you're interested in, that's perfectly fine. You're still welcome to join us, but we're very open about answering questions and being interactive and just sort of helping one another. So you are welcome to join. Tradinggrounds.live is my website. All of my links are on there for Facebook, for Twitter, for TradingView, and then you can join our Discord channel through there. Just drop a note in the main chat when you get there. Let them know that you were referred from the live show on Benzinga. So that's who I am, and that's kind of what I do. I am lucky enough to trade, full-time, full-time job, if you want to call it that. It's I always like to let this know too, because I know we have a couple new people here. I always like to let people know that no, I am not a millionaire, and because I'm an options trader, people think that I'm like I just have like so much money. I don't even know how much money I have. Believe me, I know how much money I have. I am not of the mindset of traders where it's like my goal or the reason why I'm trading is money. I'm not driven by that. It is absolutely essential. I'm not trying to say to you that like we don't need money. We're like Amish or something, because that obviously would be a lie. But my wife and I and sort of some of the things that have transpired over the last couple of years that have led me to do what I do today. And now that we have a newborn, we have a son, Thomas. He is he's gonna be nine months in a week. That's crazy. But I am trading full time because it gives me the opportunity to have freedom with my family and a freedom of schedule and the ability to provide for my family. So that's who I am as a person. Just kind of give you a little bit of an insight, because I know a lot of times people, when they hear somebody on YouTube or if they see somebody on social media that claims to be like a full-time trader or a full-time options trader or something like that, immediately what the thought is that I'm trying to scam you into some sort of class. And listen, I don't charge for anything. I'll never ask you for money. I prefer just to teach, because I enjoy to teach. So, and then for every Friday night, I get an hour of time with you guys here too. So that's who I am. Please subscribe, hit the like button as well. We love to see you here every week, every Friday at 5 p.m. So tonight, what we're going to do, a couple of things here. I got a quick outline. I want to cover a couple of things. First off, to those that got caught on AHT, listen, I am sorry, ticker AHT. If you are unfamiliar with this, that's probably a good reason, or that's probably a good thing that you're unfamiliar with it. AHT is one of the, it's a hotel, Ashford Hospitality Trust is the name of the ticker. And it had been one of the more popular social media stocks. It had been, I'm sure, if you're on Twitter, if you're on, if you follow anybody on Twitter that's a trader, you've probably heard about this stock before. But yeah, it was trading at, it got some good volume, and I scalped some calls a couple of times on it, but I didn't really get too much involved with it. But AHT after hours, like literally seconds after hours, actually, no, what time was it when they released? It was later than that. Sorry. No, it was at 4 o'clock. Never mind. It was right at 4 o'clock. They announced a reverse split. They announced that they were, obviously there are, you have to like think too, like from like, believe me, like you have to go into a trade expecting that something like this is going to happen. But I'll give, I'm with you. Don't do it at 4:01 p.m. I mean, that's just like, that's ridiculous. Like they knew all day that they were doing this today, and they wait till 4:01. I hate when companies do that. It's shady, especially of a holiday weekend. That's just shady. Like, listen, we get it. Like you're going to take advantage of what's going on with your company. The CEO has this huge following on Twitter now. He was on CNBC. I mean, you got to look at it from their perspective. They're a struggling company that's been in an industry that's been struggling for, going on the second summer in a row now. They've got to capitalize. And so they announced a reverse split. And then, of course, it just dumped like crazy. And like, listen, like, I was not involved in this at this time. I have not played it for a while now. And a stock like this, I would only scalp anyways. So I have no position, and I'm just speaking as somebody who's watching the chart. This happens, like this legitimately happens. I've been caught in something like this before when I, was really getting going with trading and things like that. A couple of months down the road was when, the COVID play started really ramping up. And I mean, you could throw a dart at a runner, and man, it was nice. We were eating good back then. But I got caught in a stock. They did an offering, after hours. They announced it like shortly, or no, it was like right at like 3:55 or something like that. They announced an offering, and I missed it, and it knifed. I mean, and if you've never been a part of a falling knife, this chart I'm showing you right here is what a falling knife is. If you've ever heard that phrase. A falling knife is when a stock just dumps like crazy based upon some event. And that's what we see here. So listen, like if you were involved in AHT, you have two options. Number one, you can use that to your advantage, or two, you can beat yourself up and say, man, oh man, listen, we've all been there. We lose trades. Our goal is not to be perfect. And listen, like nobody is perfect. Don't ever let anybody tell you that they're profitable all the time or they're perfectly awesome all the time. That is completely incorrect. Nobody is that way. It's literally impossible. Listen, like we've been caught in stuff like this before. It happens. Use this as a motivator to your trading success. Take a step back, unless you bought like yesterday. Okay, different story. But I'm willing to bet a lot of the people that were playing AHT, they've been playing it for a while, and they had chance after chance after chance they could have dumped. What happens? Something like this. This stuff always happens. Listen, it always happens when you get these stocks that are getting hyped on social media. They are going to do an offering. They are going to do. You can almost sense it. Like you can almost sense it when it's coming. But again, that's something that you just kind of learn with screen time. I'm a big proponent on the fact of, listen, like the best thing you can do to improve your trading skills is to be involved in the game. Don't paper trade. And I will take this to my grave. This is something that I'm very adamant about. If you've listened to me, if you know me, I am not a paper trader. I recommend nobody paper trades. I think it's setting yourself up for actually more failure. I recommend that you paper trade so you can get familiar with how your platform works and stuff like that. But as far as saying like open a paper trading account and become profitable for 6 months on that, no, I would never say to do that. That's my personal opinion. I am of the thought that real trading happens when you are able to process your emotions. And processing the emotion of something like this happening. Like, listen, man, like it sucks to have a bad Friday. That's why I'm very intentional with my time on Fridays. I am, my wife works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so she's gone. So I'm focusing in on Thomas a lot more. Thursdays and Fridays, we kind of have errands, we kind of have appointments, whatever we have going on and stuff like that. So I don't trade nearly as much on Thursday and Friday. Thursday is probably the day that I trade the most. I'm in front of the computer pretty consistently. But on Fridays, I know that first off, it's a holiday weekend. Okay. It's a holiday weekend. Like you have to anticipate that. Yesterday was Friday. Okay. I don't know the numbers. I'm sure volume was down substantially today. I'm sure yesterday afternoon mimicked Friday volume. But Fridays are always, people are leaving early. A lot of the market makers and a lot of the hedgies and stuff like that, they're leaving at noon on a Friday. And now that we have, Monday is a holiday, you have an even longer weekend too, because people are like, well, I'm just taking Friday too because of Monday and blah, 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 blah. And so, but being in front of the screens during these things is what is going to get you to that next level of trading. And listen, like you could have let me look at something real quick here. AHT call volume on July 16. The $5 call had 6.04K volume. It closed at 15 cents. Okay, so there's been some volume on these calls. Again, like I said, that's what I was playing on this. I was scalping calls, and scalping is a very like loosely used word because the action on it was not that great. But I'm a big I go where the volume is. I go where the volume is. That's how I trade options. Let me kind of explain that real quick before we segue into our next thing, because it'll help you understand why we're talking about what we're talking about. Okay, so I am a day trader of options. I am a scalper of option contracts. Okay, so what that means is I am looking for unusual activity. I use unusual whales. Unusual whales is the flow. Let me just show this real quick. This is what I'm monitoring a lot of the day. This is the options flow activity that will show. I have this kind of I have it changed to show me the volume and stuff like that. So it doesn't. This is a little bit different, but what I watch all day long is this section here. This is the options flow. This is literally every option order that comes through, dark pool included. And then I also have an alert section set up where I'm notified of specific unusual options activity. That's how I trade options. Okay. I am not of the options trader that is writing, oh, that's a good question. Somebody just said, how do you avoid IV crush? I'm going to pause talking about unusual volume. I'm going to answer that question. Because it kind of is dealing with what I was just saying. So number one, IV. I am not too concerned about IV because I am day trading primarily a stock or an option contract that has a high volatility. That is not as big of a concern to me as volume is or open interest is. Now, if I have long-term positions right now, like I have calls, all the way out through September and some even later. So I have open positions. I'm not only day trading. Like I don't empty my account at the end of the day and I'm out of here, no positions. I have stuff that I play long term. But what provides me where I'm doing my full-time trading, let's call it that, is scalping options. So I'm looking for the unusual volume activity. I'm looking for alert that goes off that says this stock, this contract now has a volume surge or a call sweep or a put sweep or something like that. So on an IV, I'm not really too concerned about it because normally, best case scenario, I'm in and out of a contract within the hour. If I enter at 10, I want to be out by 11. Just kind of depends on the situation and things like that. There's a lot of variables, but if I am like AMC, for example, let me just use that. Oh, I'm tired of talking about AMC. We're almost done with AMC. I'm gonna make a bold take. We're almost done with AMC. There's gonna be a lot of empty YouTube spots here real quick too. I feel bad. I listen, I'm praying. I talk about AMC every week. I hope it goes, man. I hope it goes. I think we're done. I think we're done with AMC. I really do. I'm gonna make a bold take. Somebody said, can you use paper trading as a guide to determine to get in a real trade? Yeah, absolutely. So what I do sometimes on paper trading, I use it in my studying. Okay, let's kind of look back on that question. I use it as an aid. I don't use it for any sort of measure on me personally as a trader. So I know that like Thinkorswim will allow you to do paper trading and can trade options paperly, fakely, whatever. I don't know the word to use there, but you could paper trade options on Thinkorswim. You can also paper trade options on Webull, but I'm kind of confused with Webull because I think they're charging you for options data now. I'm not 100% sure. I know Thinkorswim, you could do it without a problem. You could paper trade options on Thinkorswim. I would recommend as a guide to determine what your trade is going to look like. I wouldn't paper trade as a way to confirm if you should for real enter it. I would be more focused in on the chart and the volume and stuff like that. Now, if you are trying to get involved in like a more complex options trading strategy, like a butterfly or a condor or something like that, yeah, use a paper trade that you can see it then a little bit better. You can make sure everything's lined up. You can see your profit and loss. You can kind of look at the numbers and stuff like that. You could do that if you are trying to learn more about options trading strategies and enter your trades that way and then monitor them on your paper trading account. Do that absolutely. I don't know that I would necessarily say like use paper trading as a confirmation to enter into a real trade because again, it's all about the emotions. I'm a big I'm a big teacher of like mindset when it comes to trading, and that's why I'm always so I know that it sounds, you know, I'm not telling anybody to dump like $5,000 into your trading account and go blow it all just so you can be involved in the game. I think that no, you shouldn't do that. I think before you should even take one trade, you should have a platform picked out. You should have your chart set up. You should have a guy that I'm working with right now in Discord. He sent me, okay, I have an account. What's my next thing to do? I sent him a list of stuff to work through. I said, here's where you need to start. You need to know basics of charting. You need to know basics of indicators. You need to know basics of support and resistance. That's what's going to sustain you long-term in the markets. Now again, I know everybody is not striving to be a full-time trader. And I don't need to, I'm not going to imply that the only way that you're going to be successful is if you're sitting in front of your computer for, you know, a wrong amount of hours per day. Cause I do, again, not to like kind of like, you know, go into like my day-to-day, you know, mindset and stuff like that, but this is what I prefer to do. I'm not like being forced down here, so I'm not like miserable. I love I love doing this. I mean, I genuinely love doing this. And so to me, it's like when it's the weekends, I have the things that I'm doing. And so that's where I'm making my, you know, I have a saying like Monday money is made on Saturdays and Sundays because I spend my weekend setting myself up for, you know, well, obviously this week, Tuesday, but I spend my weekend setting myself up for success. So when I sit down in front of the computer, one of the variables that is eliminated is what am I watching? What am I going to play? Am I going to have to run scans? Let me go see what people are saying on Twitter. I don't have to worry about any of that because the weekends is when I do a lot of my homework. And that's when I am setting myself up for the plays to come throughout the week. So one of the things that I'll do is on, you know, Fridays, Saturdays, I try to do it as close to Fridays as I can. But one of the things that I do is I will go through the daily activity of the options flows to get a little bit more of an understanding of where the volume was on things that I missed. Okay. Because again, that's what I am looking for as an options trader. Okay. I am looking for volume. Okay. So I have evolved. If you've been watching me since I started with Benzinga, when I first started back in, I don't even remember now. I still can't believe it's July. I have no, oh, this is a great point. To play certain option strategies, you need to apply and be approved by your platform. Usually we first get approved for the basic option trading only. Thank you for mentioning that. That is something that I always try to remember to mention on the show because I get that question asked a lot. Like people are like I feel like I'm not allowed to trade options, and I always forget to mention this. But whatever broker you're using, you have to apply in order to have options trading unlocked. Everybody is different. Okay. So like Schwab has their own policies. TDA has their own policies. Webull has their own policy. Everybody is going to give you a different level of options trading. Some platforms are only going to give you the ability to buy and sell calls and puts. That's it. Some platforms like Tastyworks, like if you're on a margin account with them, they'll open up every stinking option trading strategy that's available. You know, if you're on a cash account, they limit you, but anybody with a cash account is limited on what they can trade options if they're under 25K. Now, if you have the buying power, they'll give you a little bit more of strategies to use. However, if you're on a cash account, you're not going to be able to sell naked calls or naked puts, like you unless you have the cash, of course. But on a margin account, they're going to you have the buying power. So just that's a good reminder. Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. That's a good reminder. Make sure you apply for trading options. You have to answer questions about your options trading experiences and stuff like that. Every platform is different. Again, do your research, see what they require of you. What's my take on the Power X and the wheel strategies? Wheel is a fantastic strategy to use if you are able to handle the swings. Your capital can increase pretty rapidly and it can decrease overnight just as fast. I think that's a good strategy. I think you could focus in on that. The Power X, I unfortunately am not familiar with what the Power X is. John says, any example of a stock that you use for a day trade? I mean, what makes me take that trade? The levels, patterns, or any other variable that you can show us? All right, that's a great question. Okay. So a stock that I use for a day trade, Tesla is a day trade stock. AMC right now is a day trade stock. GameStop is a day trade. Basically anything that is on the, here we go. Anything that is on the high volume from options trading. That's what I focus in on. Let me read through some of the tickers that are the from the 50-day options volume average. These are some of the highest volume tickers, and these are the ones that I focus in on for day trading. The number one overall is SPY, without a doubt. It's not even close. They average on 50-day trading volume 485,000 contracts traded per day. That's a lot of trading. Triple Q is in third place, but it's at 165K. So that shows you the difference between SPY and everybody else. Apple is another one that I'm huge bullish on Apple right now. I don't normally talk about tickers and like give you guys stock picks and stuff like that, but listen, I'm bullish on Apple. I've got some really good calls on Apple for the end of July that July 30th, I'm actually thinking about holding for a pretty substantial amount of time. I'm bullish on Apple. They're coming around. I'm not an Apple guy per se. I am an Android and a Windows guy. So I have no vested interest in Apple as a company. I am just looking at technicals and volume and what's going on. I like Apple long term. If you can find a leap, like a cheaper or a leap that fits your budget, Apple would be a great play to get into that. Another one that's going to be a big one is AMD. AMD is a fantastic stock to day trade when it comes to options. You have enough volume, you have enough range, you have the biggest thing that you look for when you're day trading an option contract. I can probably answer it much easier. The biggest thing to look for is you need delta. Okay. Well, you need two things. You need delta and volume. Number one, delta is telling you how much that contract is probably going to move based upon the underlying asset moving $1. Okay. So if your delta is 41, the contract is supposed to move 41 cents for every $1 that the stock moves. It's not a guarantee. It's not exactly how it works out because it fluctuates and stuff like that. But that gives you a rough idea of how your contract is going to respond when the stock goes up or down. That's my main focus when I'm buying calls or when I am primarily a call buyer. I don't like to play puts. Like I'll sell puts because I'm bullish, but I am just like, and listen, like I'm not like one of those crazy guys that's only like somebody really wants us to know about baby boxer token on pancake swap 100x potential. Somebody really, really is interested in getting us to, buy whatever crypto pump they're doing right now. But anyways, am I able to be on this person? I am. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Yeah, here we go. Let's get rid of some of these guys. Okay. All right. I'm back. That's all I'm going to do. I blocked a couple. Lost my train of thought. Oh, volume. Oh, I'm sorry, there we go. Delta. That's what my primary concern is. When I'm buying a contract, I'm focusing on delta. I want to increase my delta as much as I can based upon my risk reward situation for how much I'm willing to risk on a contract or how much I'm willing to buy. Like if contracts are much cheaper, I am, buying a lot. Sometimes I'm buying 50 to 100 contracts and it ramps my delta up. I'm able to really collect on small movements. That's why I scalp. That's why I am scalping contracts, because I am setting myself up to capture small little movements. 10 to 30% is my goals. That's my daily goal. Again, I'm not saying that I'm like hitting that every single day, but that's my goal per play is 10 to 30%. I think that's what, that's a pretty reasonable goal. That's what works for me. So another one is probably Facebook. Facebook is, now you have to remember too, a lot of these stocks, their premiums are going to be much higher. Amazon was fantastic for option scalping today. That's a great point as well. But you have to remember that a lot of these ones that are, I don't want you to be kind of like, if you've never looked at like the Tesla option chain and you start seeing some of these premiums, like don't be taken back by that. Just don't play Tesla. Like set yourself up for success. Don't play Tesla. If you look at Tesla premiums and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't afford that, then do not play Tesla. You need to establish first like how much money you are willing to risk, because I mean some of the Tesla calls are, $13, $12, $11, $10, and you do that times 100, and that's what you could, the price of what the contract is. So it's like 1,300, 16, so I mean you're risking on one contract. You're risking that much money. And Tesla, only play Tesla. I only played Tesla for, gosh, I haven't played it for a while. I've kind of been doing some other things, but there was a, I don't even know how long. That's all I played was Tesla. I didn't touch anything else. I just scalped Tesla all day long. It's the perfect example of what a day trade stock looks like. It's got all the volume, it's got all the movement, it's got great delta, it's got great risk reward. You can get in on some of these calls like a week or so out. Somebody said, is scalping considered day trading, applicable to day trading rules? Yes, it is. That's another thing that you have to keep in mind too. With options trading, it's the same PDT rules. But what I always harp on, people, listen, if you are under 25K, okay, if you are under 25K an account, you need to turn your margin off. Get rid of margin. Okay. Get rid of margin. One more time. Get rid of margin. If you are on a cash account, the pattern day trader rules do not apply. You can day trade to your heart's desire. Let me explain how it works though. Cash accounts have good faith violation. They have settled fund violation. So basically, here's how it works. If you have a $5,000 trading account and you are in a cash account, every single day you have $5,000 of buying power. Let's just say on Monday, you spend $2,500 in options. How much buying power do you buy $2,500 worth? How much buying power do you have the next day? $2,500. Next day, 25. There is a settlement time where you have to wait for your funds to become available again. However, you are not handcuffed by the 3-day trade rule. You need to be on a cash account. I'm not going to rant anymore. I feel like I rant all the time about cash accounts, margin accounts. If you're under 25K, turn off your margin, get on a cash account, point period blank. Why premiums are going to be higher? Earnings. On which stock, John? Or are you talking about just kind of generally like on the options market as well? Or do you mean on the stocks I was talking about day trading? Drop me a note. I'll answer that question. Somebody said, CR, hey, good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. Nice of you to stop by. Somebody said, would you consider Telcoin to be a day trade stock? I'm not familiar with that stock. If you could drop the ticker, I'll take a look at it. Tesla has a lot of manipulation. Tesla has the most manipulation that you can get on a stock. Believe me, I've been caught in false breakouts. I've been caught in fake candles. I've been caught in all kinds of stuff. And like, somebody said, John said in general, why premiums are going to be higher in general. Let me answer that question in a second, because somebody just said, may I ask, why not shoot for a multi-million-dollar net worth for your family? So let me like kind of like go back and like kind of reiterate what I was saying before. Like obviously, like if things work out one day, my wife and I and my son and however many other kids we have, we're going to be financially set. And am I going to be a millionaire one day? Or, if I'm of the mindset that if God wants me to be at that point, like if things work out in life, if I continue to work hard and things like that, and if we get to that point, my wife and I have a net worth for a multi-million dollars, that's fantastic. And I would expect it to be there one day. We have, long-term goals and stuff like that. Absolutely. So if things continue to work out and progress how they are, yeah, I'll probably get there. I'm just saying that when I look back upon my days, or if I'm like, if I'm looking for my motivation to work harder, it is not so I can become a multimillionaire. It is because it's so I can provide a good life for my wife and my only son now. That's what my focus is. That's why I'm working so hard, and that's why I'm putting the hours in. It's not so I can become a multimillionaire. Obviously, like, we need money. We want to have a retirement fund set up. We want to be able to take care of our kids. We want to be able to do things like that. Absolutely. But the reason why I am working, sometimes sometimes I'm in front of my computer for 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, depending on what's going on, and then time on the weekends. And there's this and this is me, I'm not complaining at all. There's this false persona of what a day trader or what a full-time trader is, that it's thought of like the Instagram personalities, where they're on some remote island, they trade for 10 minutes, they made $1 million, and then they're done. That's not it at all. Like, that's not it. Absolutely, day trading gives you the ability to trade from anywhere in the world. And I'm not saying that every person on Instagram is a furu, is a fake guy. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that there is, like, if you want to be successful at this, there is a lot of hours that you need to put into this. There's a lot of studying, there's a lot of reading. It doesn't happen just on making a good trade here and there. If you truly want to succeed as a trader, there's going to be a lot of work required of you. But listen, it is a rewarding career, if you want to call it a career. I am of the nature where I want to be able to just, like, I don't feel good tomorrow, I'm taking the day off. Or I am, like, my son has a doctor's appointment, my wife has a doctor's appointment. That's like, I want that freedom. Like that's what I am striving to create freedom. I will never, ever, ever go back to a 9 to 5 job. I mean, obviously, if I have to provide for my family, I will do that, but I will never go back to a 9 to 5 job. That's when things, like, really started to click for me, was when I realized that for so many years I had been living under the false pretense that you had to get a 9 to 5 job. That's just what you did. And when things started to change for me, that's what I noticed early on with trading. It was never about, like, yeah, the money, when it was coming in like crazy, it was awesome. Like, there was a lot of big play. I have a lot of big plays that I've made. I've been very fortunate to do good at trading, and to still be able to be down here after 2 years or something like that. It's I'm very fortunate for that. But when we had our son, and I could sit at my desk and work and hold my son and talk to him about, like, that's what, like that was one of the things, like, early on in trading, my mindset changed, and I literally felt a change internally in me. And that's what drives me to focus in on trading. So that's why, to answer your question in a really long time. Somebody said, how do I follow you? Discord, YouTube, etc. So if you go to tradinggrounds.live, let me drop this in real quick. Tradinggrounds.live is my website. Trading Grounds is the name of my, I don't, whatever you want to call it, my trading academy. I don't really know. But tradinggrounds.live is where you can find all of my links. If you go to the tradinggrounds.live website, at the top of the page, you will see Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TradingView, and Discord channel invite. I am the most active on Discord. We are a free community. We have about 1,000 members. We don't charge for classes. We don't charge for subscriptions, anything like that. We are just literally a free community of traders. You are welcome to join us. I am there, active every single day. We have a fantastic group of people. There's even some people that are in the chat right now that are, that have joined the team as well. But we are here to make traders better traders. So you are welcome to join if you are interested. So where did I leave off on? I was talking about unusual activity. So that's where I'm going when I'm trading. That's what I am focusing in on. I have just really, after I am of the nature of price action and volume analysis are two of the important things that you need to know as a trader. That has what has been okay. So this year, let's just talk about January to July. I have switched my strategy from an EMA crossover that would tell me to enter a position to now I have no moving averages on at all any longer. I use fib retracements, fib extensions. I use support and resistance levels. I use pivot points, and then I use volume. That's all that I'm using on my charts now. Let me actually, do I have it pulled up? Yeah. This obviously I don't have the fibs and stuff like that up. But what another one that I'll use is I just use like a real quick swing pivot point marker, and then I am a big fan of the fib retracements and things like that. So I use that, but I have 2 volume indicators because again I'm following volume. That's what I'm most focused in on. I use 2 volume indicators. Number one is just traditional, what telling me how much was there on that candle. And then the one below that is called buying and selling volume. This shows me per candle how much was buying and how much was selling, just so I have an overall idea of what is happening. I also use TradingView, just in case you're not familiar with what platform this is. I do all of my charting through TradingView. And my broker of choice is Tastyworks. I primarily only trade options. Again, you have to remember that. So that's why I use Tastyworks, because they are primarily an options platform. So just keep that in mind if you do go to look them up as far as a new broker. Do you have tips for Forex? I don't do Forex. I'm sorry about that, Modern. I only trade options. Years ago, when I first started getting into trading, it would have been, gosh, what was that? 2009, 2010, I think. I'm 38. So yeah, probably was 2010 when I first started reading about investing and things like that. I started to read about Forex, and I was very interested in it. But just throughout the years, I just kind of navigated away from it. So no, I'm sorry, I don't have any tips on Forex. OTPP. Can you analyze OTPP? Yeah, I could do that. Let me pull it up. Is there options on it? OTPP is not a ticker. No, that's not a ticker. Sorry. Let me know if it's a different one or if I had the wrong one. But that OTPP ticker is not a real ticker. Okay, starting at the bottom, arrow. Which broker system do you use for charts? This platform is called TradingView. There's a link on my website to find out what I'm sorry, I got distracted really easily. OPTT, I'm not seeing that as, is it crypto? Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it now. Does it have options? Because if it doesn't have options, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything about it. It has options. Okay, I'll get to you in 1 second. I use TradingView. Go to tradinggrounds.live. There is a link on the top of the page to follow me on TradingView, and there's also a referral link. No, you're good, Swoop. It's all right. I think you told me correct. I just typed it in wrong. I'll get to that ticker in a second. But I use TradingView for all of my charting. What about money flow oscillator, or is it OBV? What do you mean by OBV? I don't use the money flow oscillator. However, it's one of the better ones for helping on a technical analysis level. When scalping, do you always wait for support level for entrance? No, I do not. Okay. I'm not always. So let me, I use support and resistance so I can see channels. I use, I use the linear regressions. I use fib channel or fib extensions and retracements. I use pivot points, support and resistance levels that I draw. I use all of those things to get an overall picture of what sort of battles am I going to face as I'm trying to enter and exit a position as fast as I possibly can. So I don't always wait for a pullback. Now, that's not to say that I am buying at a top resistance or something like that. I just don't always wait for it to come clear back to the support. Basically, here's how it works. When I'm entering a ticker, here's the process from start to finish, just to kind of give you an overview real quick. So typically what happens is, well, there's 2 things with trading. Number one, I have I have multiple, but I have master watch lists. These are the plays that I play consistently. These are the tickers that I'm following every single day, and I'm in and out of these. I'm long-term, I'm scalping, I'm doing whatever. But these are the Apples, the Microsofts, Facebooks, Rokus, Teslas, all of the big volume tickers. I have a watch list of all of those. I have like 50 or 30 or something on there that I follow. I rotate through those charts. I have alerts set and things like that. So if something comes up on if I get an alert for something, yes, MP, my main platform is Tasty. I just put it up on the screen. If I get an alert on something for unusual volume, for example, the first thing I do is I pull the chart up, take a look and see what's going on with it. If it's already spiked, if I'm late on the alert, if it's the bottom, whatever it is, the chart has to give me an indication that, yeah, there's probably a chance of something happening here. So I immediately look at the chart, and then I'm on the options chain. So if I get an alert for, let's just say, let me look at some of this. Wow, this is a perfect example. Okay, so on OPTT, this is the ticker that somebody just posted. They wanted to see OPTT. This ticker is I've known Ocean Power Technologies. I know literally nothing about this ticker. So we are all going to go blind together. Okay. So the $5 call on July 16 for OPTT had 39.6K volume. That is unusual volume. I'm willing to bet that this was alerted today. Let me see. No alerts. Okay. Let's do here then. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was a lot of activity on this stock today. Okay. So basically what you would have had on this stock, OPTT would have at some point um, unusual volume alerts. Everybody's different. But typically the alerts that I look for are unusual activity based upon the previous week of volume. That's how that's what my unusual activity alerts typically are. So I get an alert. So let's say this OPTT stock, we get an alert on the $5 call for a call sweep or unusual activity or whatever it was. So right now, wherever, let's look at this. What was the high was 30 cents at 11:18. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So the high today was 30 cents on the spike of volume. It closed at around 10 or 15. So there's actually not really that big of a risk reward on that. But again, you obviously don't know that during you know. Oh, you did get the $5 calls. Okay. All right. So let me just continue that. There's still a decent upside to this, just like looking from like a charting perspective. I mean, it looks like that it found a bottom. The volume is what's very, very impressive, 45.36 million, which is definitely, highest since January when it had that last huge spike. Did they have news? Did they have an event or something that um, caused you to enter, or was this something else? Let me know. I'm curious because that's a lot of volume. 39.6K on a weekly or on a $5 call that's a lot. That's a lot of volume, especially on a stock that has a 297%. That's a good find though. I would be confident in that play. I would be confident in holding that. Now, I mean, obviously it depends on how much you bought for and stuff like that, but 39.6K volume on a Friday of a holiday weekend is a pretty substantial amount of volume. I would be pretty comfortable with that. John says, with Apple doing this uptrend movement, how do you determine how to enter in an option trade? And then Swoop said, honestly, not that I am aware of, just found a lot of call volume for it. That's what I do. It's good play. Good job. All right, let's take a look at Apple real quick. Let me pop this up real quick. So with Apple doing this uptrend movement, how do you determine how to enter in an option trade? Okay, so two things you want to determine. Number one is what's your goal with the Apple with an Apple contract, and number two, how much can you afford to risk on Apple? Okay, so number one with me, I am on Apple. I am kind of doing everything with it. Number one, I am day trading it. I am Apple is not the most effective stock to scalp. Let me just say that, okay? And the reason why, let's go to next week's. You see how cheap these premiums are? Like 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 they're substantially cheap. Okay, so let's do this. 3 calls that are in the money. The highest price is 330. Now let's look at a similar stock. That's double, but you can see the difference in the contract prices. There's some money to be made on Facebook. Apple, for some reason, I think it's probably just due to the sheer amount of volume that is being traded. Apple is the third, I want to say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Apple is the 5th most traded stock on options. There is always volume on Apple. Okay, so let me just also say too that I own Apple calls, lots of them at various dates. I own July 30th, and then I own August 20th and September 17th. July 30th, I have I have the 146. I have a bunch of the 146 calls for July 30th. I'm in like single digits change. Like I'm pretty good. It's at $1.59 now. That's a pretty good play. I am so long term. My perspective on Apple is I expect it to continue in its uptrend. And I expect that once it breaks the 145, we see, very little resistance for a little bit of time. So Apple would be something that I don't know that I would recommend scalping it. It's not going to move enough in order. Now, with me saying that, for example, let's look at the 142 chart. Let's look at the Apple 142 July 9th call. There was 21.5K. Now, but see, the tough thing with Apple is there's so many so many contract dates and strikes that have volume like this. It's hard to you wouldn't want to just go off an alert with Apple. There's got to be something else to confirm that you're entering a position because there's just so much volume. Now, also with that being said, there is so much volume that it actually helps you, because if you do get an unusual volume alert, it's pretty unusual. That means that there's a substantial increase in volume over the norm. And some of these contracts trade 10, 15, 20,000 a day. So if you get an alert on one of those, that's worth paying attention to. But Apple is one of those stocks that I would not really recommend scalping. So what you're going to want to look into is, first off, how, I recommend going as far out as you can. If you are not trying to, if you're scalping contracts, play the same week. Now again, I would not play same day expiration options. I think that is, I don't even do that myself personally, and I do this for quote unquote living. I don't play same day expirations. I would play, like today, I would have played the July 9th calls, and I would have it traded in a pretty solid uptrend all day. So I mean, just kind of like taking a look at there's 9:30. Okay, so here's the Apple chart for today. And I mean, at this point, for what you're going to probably have to look for is bouncing off of these levels, like giving yourself some sort of support and resistance that you could work with. My mouse just froze. Giving yourself some sort of support and resistance that you could work with. I think that with a stock that's in a clear uptrend and it's moving and it's got volume, and if you're watching level 2 and you're seeing that it is sort of it's breaking down, like literally my mouse will not work. Oh, there it goes. If you are seeing your stock in a clear uptrend and you're like waiting for that exact penny to like get filled on an order, like that's a prime example of something that you are going to get in and scalp and get out. Don't worry about a penny or two here and there to try to get your limit order filled so your contract price is cheaper. Don't even worry about that. When you see a stock that's in a clear uptrend, your goal is to enter and exit that stock as quickly as you possibly can with as much upfront cost to you. So you're not having to worry about like buying dips and stuff like that. For example, your goal on a 40-cent contract, that would be $40. I would probably buy 20, let's just say off the top of my head. So I am capturing a 10-cent move. That's a $200 profit. Like I'm not holding that contract for 150% runner. I'm not holding that for a a big huge home run. My goal is to get on base. Now I'm doing that 10, 15, 20 times a day sometime. I am actively involved in trading. My trading style is to be actively involved in, can I get the ticker pulled up now? Why can I not? My mouse is like literally like just done. I am, that's what I'm doing as a trader. I am trading multiple times a day. But you also can't expect to buy an Apple call for $47 and that to run and make you all of this money just based upon one contract. Got to set yourself up at the beginning in order to succeed at trying to make it with options trading, because again, you have to establish what type of an option trader you are at the beginning. If you are not capable of monitoring positions very frequently and easily and quickly, you are not setting yourself up to be a day trader or a scalper. Don't even focus in on that as an option for you. Again, I'm not saying that nobody can do it. I'm just saying that be real with yourself as you are evaluating. Like, let's say you're wanting to become an options trader and you're looking to figure out like how you begin and how you start and stuff like that. You need to establish like what type of an options trader you're going to be. Are you going to be an options trader that is going to exercise the contracts? That's not me. I don't give a rip about owning the shares. I don't want to own shares. I only play options. So why would I exercise a contract? I don't exercise. I never have, and I probably never will. Again, I am a buyer and seller of contract. That's what I'm doing. I have the ability to do that though. So that works for my style. I also play longer term holds. I don't necessarily play like these real like huge leaps of like the 145 days or 300 days or whatever, crazy stuff like that. I don't. I'm not really focused too far now in my longer term portfolios. I have some stuff that is far out there, and in my day trading account I have some September calls, and I think I have some Octobers as well. But if you are of the nature where you have lower capital and you're not able to actively be involved in trading, then set yourself up with these longer terms. 30 to 45 days is going to give you the best sweet spot when it comes to trading options. It's going to, number one, allow you to see the full range of what happens with an options contract, because there are two things that I will guarantee will happen with your option contract. Number one, it's going to go up. Number two, it's going to go down. Outside of that, it's a mystery, believe me. But you need to experience the mental aspect of your contract being up $150 one day, and then the next day when you come into the office and you sit down and the market opens at 9:30 and that contract is cut in half, you need to figure out like, okay, what just happened? Why did that go overnight? The stock went up, but my contract went down. That doesn't make sense. Like there's a lot of these, there's a science behind options trading. Again, I'm not saying that you're going to like have a cheat code and figure it all out and be perfect and la-di-da-di-da. I am definitely not saying that. However, I am saying that giving yourself over to the study of the Greeks and volume and stuff like that gives you the chance to be a successful options trader. It's the reality of what it is. If you start to learn how the Greeks respond, you can nail down and advance your profit. If you start to learn how volume causes these stocks to move, you can get in on a small runner, or you can get in on one of these 200% plays. A couple of the bigger plays that I had, I always like to kind of go over some of my plays. I played Bed Bath & Beyond a bunch of times. I scalped it. I had a 57%. I had 131%. My Apple play from this morning, I had a contract from Tuesday to today. I had I don't even remember. I had a pretty big hit on Apple. I had 296%, and I had a 63% on profit that I took today, or took between yesterday and today. However, I lost a lot on Fisker. I don't even know why I played that in the first place. I lost on Las Vegas. I set myself up for bad with that. I lost a little on Facebook. But for the most part, my goal on these contracts is how quickly can I enter and how quickly can I exit? That's my goal. I'm not holding for 200% gains. Obviously, Apple, for example, this week of Apple is a prime example of when you need to let your winners run. Okay. That's one of the things that, let me answer this question real quick. Is IQ Options a good broker to start options trading? I'm based in Africa. Doubt I will be able to use broker that you guys are using. I unfortunately am not familiar with what that is. Modern, if you look me up on one of my social media platforms, if you can find a link or find a way to get in touch with me, send me the link to the broker. I'll take a read through it, and you and I can chat privately about it, and I'll make sure it's something that's going to work for you. But with my, with the way that I'm trading and stuff like that, I'm focusing in on my small gains. I am not. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I remember what I was talking about. I was trying to lead myself back up to it. When your stock is in a clear uptrend, you need to acknowledge that uptrend, but you also need to be confident enough that it is in an uptrend. Okay. A lot of times, with new traders, what they want to do is they want to turn the 1 minute chart on and watch tick by tick because it's fun. There's a lot of action, blah, blah, blah. As a new trader, don't go under 5 minutes. That's another tip that I always like to tell people. Do not go under 5 minutes on your chart if you are a new trader. There's too much volatility on the 3 minute. There's way too much volatility on the 1 minute. And you've got to know a lot more on the 1 and 3 minute charts. Those are the charts that I use when I'm scalping. Primarily, I'm using the 3 minute. Depending on what's going on, I might use the 1 minute and stuff like that. But primarily, I use the 3 minute when I am scalping contracts. However, I am able to recognize things rather quickly, so I am out. I'm out if it goes against me. On a stock like Apple, I have longer holds. I have contracts that are expiring, end of July all the way through September. Somebody said, do options experience Theta decay on the weekends and holidays? Yes, they do. Options decay the second you buy that contract till you sell it. Every single second it decays. It's like buying a brand new car. The second you drive that brand new car off the lot, it's already lost value. Now, another thing to remember with Theta, though, is Theta, it increases the closer you are to expiration. So your contract, yeah, it's going to experience Theta decay, the time decay. However, if you have a contract that's like 30 days out, you're not going to experience the full range of the Theta until you're much closer to the expiration. So don't be too concerned. Now, if you're playing weekly and you're overnight in SPY calls and stuff like that, I don't have any news for you. You deserve to get Theta destroyed, because that's just like setting yourself, like I very rarely hold, one of these big players overnight. I almost never hold the options that are expiring that week. I almost never hold them long term, over, depending on what it is and stuff like that. There's always, an exception, but my style of trading is I am trying to set myself up for these small little wins and stuff like that. That's who I am as a trader. So it's 5:55 p.m. My mouse still, for whatever, I wonder if it's disconnected. My mouse still does not work, but it's 5:55. So we have just a couple of minutes here left. I'd be happy to take some questions, or clear up anything that we were talking about. We have 282 people here right now. Guys, if you would, please, helps us out greatly. Click the subscribe if you're new. Make sure you click the bell if you're new to Benzinga. We have content all day long, Monday through Friday, all market hours. I am live every Friday night at 5 p.m. Eastern time here on Benzinga for this show. And then, as I mentioned before, Trading Grounds is kind of my online social media account. It's the name of my trading stuff. Tradinggrounds.live is where you can find me. I also am a part of a pretty large Discord group. We have about 1,000 members right now. You are welcome to join if you would like to learn more with me. If you'd like to, pick my brain about questions, I'm very open to stuff like that. I'm happy to chat. I'm happy to answer questions and stuff like that. Please go to tradinggrounds.live, and you can see. You could see what where you can connect with me, where you are able to reach out, and if you'd like to start to learn more about like how I can improve my chart reading skills, or how do I learn about volume, or how do I anything like that, I am happy to help. But I think one of the most important things to do as a trader is to establish, like, take this weekend, for example. I always like to end on some sort of like homework note, things like that, things that you could take away and you could put into effect this weekend. John says, could you give us a little guide of your Discord, because I'm kind of lost. When you enter in, if you clicked on the link and you got the invite, should be a pop-up that acknowledges you, that you are a new member. You have to respond to that message, and then it will unlock all of our channels. Then there's what's called the main floor. There's actually a rules and a welcome section that explains all of this to you. So when you click the invite link, make sure you click that emoji to respond to the Discord, so it allows you to go in there. But if not, send me a message, and I'll get you connected. But we're about 3 more minutes. So if anybody else has some questions, I hope everybody has a wonderful long weekend, a wonderful 4th of July. And I think, gosh, we are, those of us that are celebrating the 4th of July, those of us that are living in America, we need to take some time and just really, just acknowledge how good we have it here, and how lucky we are to have the resources and the technology and so much. And 4th of July, I know it's like a big party day and stuff like that, but man, we are lucky to live in this just amazing country. And so I hope you guys all have a wonderful 4th of July. Yes, don't forget, the market is closed on Monday. They do an observed holiday. So yes, I am, man, you want to talk about long weekends. Long holiday weekends are long to begin with, but when that holiday is on Monday, oh my gosh, it's like 2 days. Again, for me, I enjoy Mondays. Mondays is my, my favorite day of the week. I enjoy the action and stuff like that. And, we, obviously, like there's a lot that goes on Monday, so I enjoy Mondays. So when we have Mondays off, it's always like a little weird, but I am looking forward to this weekend. I am looking forward to getting some stuff done. Just taking a just kind of making a list of some stuff that I want to get done project wise. And we don't really have any plans as far as doing anything much. Obviously now we have a we have a baby, so we try to stay home as much as we can. I like being at home. Somebody said, I'm going to end with this question because it is 6 o'clock right now. Somebody said, what is the best way to make money from investing? That question would take so long to answer. But I will say this, okay? You have to, if you are interested in investing, realize that investing is different than trading. Okay. So your approach to it is entirely different than what somebody like me would approach it as. I'm not concerned as much with fundamental. Like if you are an investor, okay, an investor is somebody who just parks money into a stock or a mutual fund or an ETF or something for a long period of time. Obviously, like your retirement account is an investment account, stuff like that. I am a trader. So my focus in is much different than somebody who is an investor. If you are looking to become a long-term investor, you are looking to start, you have no desire to trade, but you want to invest your money and you want to build a portfolio for down the road. Learn about fundamentals with companies. Learn about how to read SEC filings. Learn how to read balance sheets. Learn how to read financial analysis papers. That will help you, I think. Again, I'm not, a financial advisor, and I'm definitely not a long-term investment advisor. I don't even know. But I think that fundamental analysis is something that can really help you if you are investing long-term in a company. So that's it. It's 6 o'clock. And I'm really curious to see how I think I've tabbed over to the window where my camera and everything is on, but my mouse is literally not working. So I'm really curious to see if this is going to work. So if it's, I'm sure that I'll be fine. So again, if this was your first time here, listen, thank you guys so much. I am just so overwhelmed with, we have so much fun on Friday nights, but then throughout all week long, I get messages from people, or some of you have even joined the Discord, so I get to interact with you on a more daily basis. And I'm just so honored. Again, I'm not trying to like turn you into a client and charge you. I don't do anything like that. I just enjoy teaching. And so for me, when I have somebody that reaches out and wants to learn more, that's just what I really enjoy. So please, enjoy your weekend. Tradinggrounds.live is where all of my information is. Feel free to send me a message, but make sure you click that subscribe, click the bell, leave a like. We will be back next Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, live on Technically Options. Have a great weekend, guys. Happy 4th of July. We'll see you next week. See ya.